there everyone, welcome back. We're going to do the last part of Moses' story this week, but first let's do a little recap. So as you remember, very first week of Moses we learned about him as a baby and his mum put him in the basket to save his life. And then the next part was when God spoke to Moses from the burning bush. And then the next part was when Moses went to see Pharaoh. And Pharaoh wouldn't let the people go, so there was lots and lots of plagues, all the flies and locusts eating all the crops. And then we had the Passover, where they had to put the lamb's blood over their doors, so that God would pass over their houses and they would be safe. And then last week, we had the parting of the Red Sea with the jelly. So this week, we've got the last part of the story, and we're going to get comfy in our seats now. We're going to do Moses part 6. The last part of Moses' story is called Food from Heaven. God rescued the fleeing Israelites by parting the Red Sea so they could cross. Although they were now safe from the Egyptian army, their struggles are far from over. After a few weeks in the desert, the Israelites started complaining to Moses. "At least we had enough to eat in Egypt. Why did you bring us here to starve? God would look after you, even though you complain so much," said Moses. "God will send us food from heaven. There will be meat to eat tonight, and tomorrow we will find bread." Later that evening, thousands of quails flew down. The people caught the little birds, cooked them, and ate until they were full. Next morning, the Israelites found a special food called manna on the ground. The people had never seen the white flakes before and didn't know what they were. "Delicious, eat it," said Moses. "But don't gather more than you need for today or it will go rotten. Only the day before the Sabbath can you gather twice as much, so you won't have to work that day." All the time the Israelites were in the desert, God sent them quails and manna every day so that they never went hungry. But sometimes there was no water to drink and the people got angry with Moses again. God told him to hit a big rock with his staff. When Moses did so, water gushed from the rock like a stream. So despite their complaints, God made sure that his people always had enough food and drink. So now the Israelites are safe from the Egyptians, but they're still in the desert. And they're hungry and they're thirsty. And they just keep complaining to Moses. But God has brought them so far along their journey, he's not going to abandon them now and make them starve. He has provided again for them, which is amazing. God has brought down food from heaven, brought down the quails, which is like small chickens, and the manna, which is like bread type thing. So God is looking after his people again. Isn't that amazing? Now, let's go and do our craft. Okay, so this week we're just going to draw the manna and the quails falling from heaven. So, we'll draw the people as well. I'm just going to draw a wee stick people. You can draw them in as much detail as you want. The quails came down for their dinner and the bread came down for their breakfast. There we are. I hope you've enjoyed our little series on Moses. Join us again next week where we'll have a whole new set of stories. Bye everyone.